In 2017-18, we had some developers go to the county and they put in an application to rezone all of our homes. So they put in an application to rezone 213 acres of residential agricultural homes to industrial commercial. And even though they have no right to our homes, they were able to put in that application and ask the county to approve rezoning us, even though they had no rights. They hadn't even started negotiating with neighbors. And right now, the struggle is that a lot of neighbors say that they don't want to sell. They don't want to sell to developers, they don't want to move. And a lot of neighbors feel like they shouldn't be worried about the situation. But we're as a community group trying to, explain to them that if the county does pass all of this, if the county does allow the rezoning, their residential home with their families is going to turn into a commercial industrial zone. So, that home that they have with their family, they will not be able to pass it on to their children. They won't even be able to get a permit to change their roof at the county because it's zoned industrial commercial. So a lot of community does not want this to go through, but at the same time, the people who represent us are kind of keeping it a secret. They're not giving all the information out to neighbors. So that's what we're trying to do as a community group.
The development of the warehouses and stuff like that would destroy the way of life here in Bloomington. I mean, anywhere, right?
But yeah, exactly. Like, we're not the only ones that are going through this, but yeah, definitely. If you drive through my South Bloomington community, we have chickens, goats, horses, people riding up and down the street. My neighbors in the back right now are cows. And if, this development was to come in, it would wipe out all of these homes that are lucky enough to have an acre or more of property. It would just destroy the whole neighborhood, basically. The Bloomington Business Park is proposed right in my backyard. From here all the way to Bloomington High School, all the way to Zimmerman Elementary. So that's an entire community that's being proposed to be wiped out.
Nice. Can you show us what you brought here today?
So I just I've printed stuff to walk around and canvass the neighborhood with the community. So this is how big Bloomington is. It's only 6 square miles. Small community. This is the 10 freeway, this is the north side, this is the south side of Bloomington, and I printed this out to show neighbors how massive the Bloomington Business Park is. This is the Bloomington Business Park in the shaded green area. And in comparison to the whole size of Bloomington, it's about like 1/10 of the size of our entire town. Mm-hmm. In the past, when the developer puts in the application to bulldoze all these houses and get rid of all these houses, they also have to make a plan for future housing. So they went to the north side of Bloomington and they identified they're about 30 acres, and they said, well, we're gonna rezone them, who also have large lots, and we're gonna put in either apartment buildings or condos or high density housing units. And so now these people are upset because they also live in a little farm town, and they're like, what? Apartment complex right in the middle of our farms? That doesn't make sense. So it just doesn't make sense that they're gonna rezone all of this to put high density. And where are all these people gonna go? All these people with livestock, horses, chickens, goats, they can't take their animals to apartment buildings. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make sense. And also, one person who voted on all this, that was on our MAC, Municipal Advisory Council, he told the community, don't worry, that won't even happen. This high density housing unit, that won't even happen. It's just like a check mark to check off the boxes that we have to, you know, put in for the application and everything. So don't worry, that won't ever happen. So they have no plan to build more housing for all these people whose housing is being, you know, taken away. So they really don't have, you know, a plan, or even they're not going to be forced to even do any more housing for the community.
But what it does, it destroys the roads, more smog, becomes an eyesore because warehouses are really ugly, and it takes away the chance for people to own property, to build a community. You know, we're from here. We're working class. My dad was able to work and build and send all 4 of his kids to college, and 3 of them to getting their masters now. And we're very proud of it, and we don't think that we should be the last. We think they should keep going. And this opportunity needs to be provided to all people. And the more warehouses that build, there's more land that gets taken away, the more area that becomes industrialized, less low-income housing, less opportunity for business, less opportunity for the community to grow, and just separates us more, you know? This community used to have horses riding everywhere. It used to be walkable. That's not happening anymore. We're being more and more isolated by just the capital that's coming in and destroying working class families and working class values.
How close are the warehouses? How are they encroaching into the neighborhood?
They're right on our properties. They're encroaching right up against us, and it's just destroying the community. You can see our backyard. This used to have a great view. It used to be a wide open space. Opportunity for other things to build, more housing, you know, more infrastructure for the community, parks, more recreational areas. But it's just a huge warehouse that it's not hustling and bustling. It's not, you can say, providing tons of jobs for the community. You know, no one's working there and getting benefits.
And what's happening with this school here, Zimmerman Elementary? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, Zimmerman Elementary, what
closer?
should be a historic site for the community of Bloomington, one of the oldest elementary schools, is being bought, and it's going to be demolished to free up the land for more warehouses. And it's sad because this is low-income community. Down here, there's houses, low-income community. That school provides perfect access for them, perfect for them to have activities for children, etc. You tear that down, they're going to have to drive more down or across the freeway to take their kids to school, and it's going to take away kind of, you know, central hub for the community. You know, if that's just a warehouse, what do the people living by there get? With the school, you know, they take their kids, they see their neighbors in the morning, they have after school activities. All that's going to be taken away.
How does it make you feel that these warehouses can come into this community and destroy people's dreams, like your father's, you know, like these ranches that have been built with so much love and hard work?
You know, at first you get a little depressed, you get a little sad, maybe a little nihilistic, but after a while what comes in is anger. And with that anger, it's like the need to do something, to organize, to talk to people. And I think it was the guy who started the Amazon Union in New York. He said, I don't have anything else. This is all I can do. And that's how people in this community feel. Like, we don't have any other choice. We're up against the wall. We're going to do something. We're going to fight back. We're not going to take this with our hands down. You know, you're not going to destroy this community that's been around for years. There's people that live here that moved here in the 40s and the 50s, old residents, who talk about how there used to be orchards, how there used to be open land where people would feed their livestock, and all that's gone. The way of life is gone. And we're turning everything into either the suburbs or to, you know, industrial. Where do people live? Where do people communicate? Where does communities grow? Where do communities thrive if you're taking that all away?
Tell us how the organizing within your community has brought folks together.
Like I said, a lot of misinformation out there. So as a community group, we've been trying to get out there and inform people. A lot of people that live in the area don't even know what's going on. We have a lot of renters that don't even know that this is happening. We have people on the north side of Santa Ana that don't even know that this is going on as well, and they would be, you know, left with, you know, these massive warehouses across the street. And since the lots are so big, the developers only have a required amount of distance to send notices. And since our homes are so long, you know, it's a certain amount of feet, and that leaves, you know, people right across the street who don't even know that this is happening. So as a community group, you know, of course, our love of this lifestyle, the love of, you know, all our neighbors have roosters, so we don't complain about each other's roosters or the noise or maybe the smell the horses have. You know, we live here because we love that style.
Yeah.
We love that lifestyle. We love sharing, you know, trading goats with our neighbors or trading fruits and vegetables with our neighbors. That's the kind of lifestyle that we live here.